We got the cricket with us tonight. And a dog. All right. Reporting, not live, but we're just reporting about news around the state here in Michigan from time to time, because I live in Michigan and we have a medical marijuana program, and it's it's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. So the a delicious part of it is that local townships and cities and whatnot, city councils and governments can make up their own rules if they want to. That's basically part of the law, or it's been amended to even be more of that over time. So coming out of Culture magazine, we have a story: Detroit cracks down on medical cannabis collectives. In March, Detroit city officials notified many medical cannabis collectives that they had 30 days to put in a bid in hopes to being one of a few businesses chosen to operate legally. Collectives that met requirements set forth in an ordinance approved by the city council last year would be approved. Now, those who did not make the cut would be subject to closure. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, this is the ordinance that tightened up the areas that you could grow based on whether you were located near a school, a daycare center. I mean, it had a list of a bunch of different things. A liquor store was on there. That pretty much takes out most neighborhoods in Detroit, because everybody's got a liquor store. School, I should hope everybody's got a school. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that was what happened, and so down they go. You either, I guess, if you're just a sitting duck. If you had a dispensary and there's a liquor store too close to you, and there's no way you can move that way because there's a school over there, you can't go back that way because there's a daycare back there. I mean, a lot of places on Grand River got shut down because of this. I mean, there's literally a liquor store on the back of every block, man, if not right on the front block of the main roads. So, yeah, a lot of people just were sitting there until the last minute, and then the ordinance passed, and then they still sat there because they were like, well, we'll just work until they shut us down, and then guess what? They got shut down. So, collectives that met the requirements. Daily Detroit reports that the city is not taking the crackdown lightly, shutting down 22 collectives in the first month after the 30-day window closed. So you had like 30 days to pack it up if you didn't, because there's no way you can adjust your business plan to accommodate this ordinance, because you were in an area where you couldn't be allowed to have a dispensary anymore. Like at one point you were allowed, there wasn't no ordinance, and then all of a sudden now there's an ordinance, and you're in a bad spot. Bye, pack it up. You had 30 days to get out of here. And if you were still there after that, yeah, they came and shut you down. 22 of them already. All right, while medical cannabis is legal in Michigan, Detroit cannabis laws make it nearly impossible for collectives to run legally due to unclear zoning regulations and its anti-grandfather clause. Grandfather clause meaning, hey, this law, we were following the law before you came along with your new laws, so what up? And under the administration of Mike Duggan, this shady, corrupt piece of shit mayor, yeah, bye-bye, pack your bags and get out of here. We're not letting you grandfather in shit. You don't run nothing, we tell you what's going on. And the zoning was designed to just get rid of most dispensaries. Alright. City Mayor Mike Duggan has openly expressed his opposition to cannabis and praised Councilman James Tate on his efforts to shut down medical cannabis collectives, showing clear bias based on personal beliefs. Unbelievable. So you got a city that elected this mayor, Duggan. I don't know why. This guy is shady from the get-go. He's always been trying to run for mayor. He's just terrible. He's corrupt. I'm sure. I don't want to get into the investigative journalism on it, but it's not like he's going to be the first mayor of Detroit that's not corrupt. No way. But that aside, obviously he's making life hell for people in the medical marijuana community in Detroit. Now I used to live in Detroit, and I moved up into the country in up north Michigan, so somewhere that don't really have local ordinances, and it's still kind of basically like residential grows. I'm pretty discreet about what I do, so I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not a nuisance or whatever. But there's nobody around here trying to say, oh, you can only have so many grow operations on this area and so many dispensaries over there. I live right by the Green Mile over here in Clio, Michigan, where there's several dispensaries within 1 mile, like more than 5. Duggan is just taking Detroit backwards. I'm afraid to move back there to operate. I would love to move back to Detroit and be a member of the community again, but to do so I would have to break the law to operate the way I operate here without bothering anybody or breaking any laws or ordinances. And it's just ridiculous to say that you can't have a grow operation, or I don't know if they're getting that specific, but dispensaries for sure. You can't have a dispensary anywhere near this list of things. It's not bothering anybody, man. I don't know. And one of them just happens to be liquor stores. What in the hell is up with that? Oh, we don't need this medicine being distributed right next to this liquor store. Well, what about the drugstore? Hell, half the drugstores sell liquor. So I don't know, Detroit. Your ordinances are really weird, and that one's detrimental to the medical marijuana community in many ways. It limits access. It limits the ability for people to participate in the capitalist society that you love so much and become a part of a supply and demand distribution system that is allowed by Michigan law. So the fact that you're curtailing it and making it illegal to operate based on your little weird zoning laws and whatnot, it's going to get challenged, it's going to get taken to court, and I hope to see you get sued for even trying this stuff, or whoever's in charge of this. I heard the city council take guy, you guys, you got problems in Detroit that are really bad. Like the schools are falling apart, the policing has just been a mess. Everything is just, the inside of the government of Detroit is corrupt and rotten, and it's falling apart. And you guys are focusing on the whether or not somebody can open a dispensary in a neighborhood. Wow, man, get it together, Detroit.